I'm gonna get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for the for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly. Hey, mama, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast.
Jay-Z, I was hoping we could start with you because I know that you are incredibly particular about how you do things. You talked about this with Tidal. You don't do things the easy way. You do things the way you think are going to have the best results. So why Moet?
They just was aligned in our thinking and thoughts and, the way they care about products and creating products. When we built Armand from the ground up, we wanted to do things right. Integrity of it had to be right. The soil, of course, it had to be in Champagne because it can't be called Champagne unless it's from the region. When we build luxury products, whether it be, from Roc Nation to Monogram to whatever we building luxury products, and Moet Hennessy goes about it the same way. So we are aligned in our thoughts of integrity and passion for the things that we build. And, when I met, it started with Alexander, we had conversations, and then Bernardo, they came to my house to have lunch in Los Angeles, my Los Angeles home, and maybe October of 2019. And,
a little flex,
those conversations,
my Los Angeles home,
escalated pretty quickly. I see these guys with men of their words. They say they're going to call you Thursday. It's Thursday. It just started out in a place of respect, and it built from there. It built pretty quickly.
Philippe, I'll
Yeah, man. Jay's done it again, Joe. Jay's done it again. And we have done it again. We are here, episode 31 of the I'll Piss You Off Shortly podcast. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I am your host, Rob Benjamin, and also with my co-host, Joe Aguirre. As you can see, we are bringing in a little bit on it. Well, we're bringing it in on a Tuesday night. Next week, we will be back, I believe, at regularly scheduled Monday nights at 9 p.m. So thank you guys for rocking with us. What's up, Joe? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm doing really, really well. Things are, I had one of those days where I was on the phone all day.
Gotcha.
Making stuff happen.
See, that's it.
It was that kind of day.
Stuff happen. There you go. Just like Jay-Z, making stuff happen. I think that's just kind of like been in the energy, right? The energy mood. I've definitely had a shitty week. What was a pretty decent week turned into a very shitty week. But making things happen. Like even today, kind of had to pick myself up and from the ground up and make some shit happen. Maybe that's what we should have called today's episode, making shit happen. But that's dope. As we can see, Jay-Z, who I highly admire, one of my mentors that I dubbed. He might not know it, but I've dubbed him one of my mentors, and I'm sure he won't be mad at it. But he's made a major big move. Ace of Spades. I'm not gonna get into the actual name. I'm not gonna mispronounce all that shit. But the gold bottle Ace of Spades that everybody loves drinking in hip hop and the rap industry. Not even just hip hop and the rap industry. Like I see country singers and stuff with Ace of Spades in their videos. I see every celebrity with Ace of Spades. So he's finally signed on with LVMH, which is Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. Big deal. So they have bought pretty much his Ace of Spades for 50%, bought 50% of Jay's take in Ace of Spades. So pretty exciting for this. So, you know, Jay's always coming up with something new, coming up with a new venture. I don't know if I have to say it. I'm not sure like all the legal terms, but yes, I am a holder in his the parent company. I am a holder. I did buy some shares of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, nothing major. I'm not gonna sit there and say I'm a major holder, but I believe in it. So we'll see how that goes. I saw the parent company. That's his weed. He's slinging weed legally now. And Jersey is officially legal today. So congratulations to Jersey legalizing, being I think officially legal today. So yeah, big moves into that. So I've always been a fan of Jay's moves. So whenever he makes a great move, I'm gonna definitely be following. And one of the things that I really appreciated in the video is that he discussed just the reason why he did business with LVMH. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the biggest things is if they said they was going to call you on a Monday, they're calling you on a Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like just good business tactics, right? Respect, loyalty, things like that, which are things that we've also mentioned. I know myself is into a reason why I decided to go with Clovercrest Media and do a podcast with you, Joe, is, you know what I mean? Everything that Joe said to me has been true, you know, through and through. Everything that I believe that I say to Joe has been through and through true. I might be a little late sending my script here and there, or most days, but you know, outside of that, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's been a great, it's been a great relationship. And that's what I pride myself in. I mean, I can do business with anybody, but like really sticking to the people that like understand you, right? See people, working with people that see you and see your vision for what it is, and not, your vision is not for everybody, right? I don't expect, one of the biggest things that I had the luxury of talking to somebody that's very successful, right, in the business world recently. And he was like, it doesn't matter who or what your people that you grew up with or go around. He goes, and what a lot of people try and do is they try and sell to their friends and family. He goes, stop. Everybody tries to cater to their friends and family and thinking like that's their best demographic. Your best demographic is those that actually like come to you from outside the world, especially in this, you know, this digital era, right? He goes, if you'll find so much more success out of, you know, from stopping to like cater to like trying to get those people that are like your family and friends to buy from you or like believe in your product, and like actually cater to those that, you know what I mean, they say like 70% of people like you, and then like 3% don't like you, or like 30% don't like you. Everybody focuses on that like 30%. Yeah. So start focusing on that 70%. So, you know what I mean, like especially with things now, like focusing on that 70% that actually fuck with me, right? Or, you know, just believe in my brand, or actually just, you know what I mean, to believe in what I'm doing. So I think that's a major thing that he's saying, that I believed in and that I agree with, that I took from this morning when Jay was up there. And another thing I want to point out, like he was in his natural self. Like I love like Jay, when the $1 billion Jay, where he's like, you know what, I'm letting my hair go, not go, but he's letting his hair free. He's living in his free self, and it's beautiful. I'm like, yeah, I aspire to be just that rich one day, to, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning, just throwing some Puma, put on all my merch, and just talk business on CNBC. This shit was such a dope look. Such a dope look. But yeah, so hey, everybody that's watching. Eden, I see you in the comments. What's up? How's it going? But yeah, so that was good news. Good news up there. Yeah, we'll go into our first ad. DJ Reefa. For everybody that doesn't know, that wasn't following, we have a new DJ that's been promoting with us, and so check out DJ Reefa and all of her services.
There's always a holiday, birthday, or any celebration to look forward to. So why not prepare now and book your favorite DJ and or photographer? Book DJ Reefa, the most versatile female DJ around for your parties or small gatherings. Need a professional photo shoot done too? Then book Reef's Views to capture your dream shots as well. Don't need either, but still curious to check out the work? You can now find DJ Reefa on shopblackct.com, the best directory for all Black-owned businesses in Connecticut. On there, you'll find DJ Reefa's Instagram at Queen of All Trades with 3 L's, where you can now look and book. Need more information but want to reach out directly? Email DJ Reefa at masonsharifa @gmail.com. Memories last a lifetime, so let's start making them.
That's right. Make sure you guys check out at Queen of All Trades on IG to book DJ Reefa for all of your next coming events. Because I'm telling you, COVID's, even though we're having like all this COVID news, but like the Connecticut Governor Lamont, he just put out his little COVID plan and stuff like that. It's seeming by the summertime, man, the United States is gonna hit their what is it, 75% mark, and then everybody's gonna be vaccinated, and hey, it might be a fun summer. Who knows, Joe? People might be back in the streets.
Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, and I can't wait.
So make sure you guys book DJ Reefa before I do. I'm thinking about having so usually what we do is we have a big old 4th of July shindig, especially for Danny's birthday, right? So hopefully COVID kind of dies down a little bit and they get this stuff under control, because DJ Reefa will definitely be in the place DJing my 4th of July party. And if I decide to throw like I'll pitch you off shortly, like I don't know, like little shindig. Excuse me, I got so much. Ooh, I got a burp so bad. I know that sounds so bad, but if I throw it, I'll pitch you off shortly, like cookout, like Dave Chappelle. You ever see Dave Chappelle's cookout? That's not the cookout.
So I don't know if you remember this or not.
What's that?
But you had a party for your son.
Yep.
And we came to it.
And I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, can I
I wasn't at that one.
Can I tell you about that party?
Was that the indoor one?
It was outside. It was
at the
outside,
house?
backyard.
Okay,
yes.
no, I wasn't at that one. I wasn't.
Okay.
Missed that one.
Backyard birthday party, right? I thought this will be great, and I, I wore normal clothes, whatever you would think you would wear to a cookout. Everybody was pimped out at that party. A lot of pastels, lot of wingtips. I mean, whoa, dude! I was like, what are these people doing? This is amazing.
No, it's not amazing. I hate it. I've never been like the dress exactly when you describe. I know exactly who you're talking about. Like, I know exactly who you're talking about. That's so crazy, right? So like, I'm not that person. So when me and her first got together, right, it was like one of our first kind of like hangout dates. We went to the outlets. And so I was like, this is going to be interesting. We're going to give me an opportunity to kind of like see her styles, kind of learn a lot more about her, right? So I'm like, bang, I'm going to the Nike outlet, find me some shoes, see what I can find. And she's like, oh, well, my son doesn't wear sneakers. And I'm like, this is going to be interesting. Like, it reminds you, like me and her, like I'm like, I'm like, this like, and I'm like in my head, I remember being like, she's gonna be kind of bougie. Like, I don't know, like I wear sneakers. Like, I love my sneakers. I love sweatpants, a hoodie, and like sweatpants and a hoodie. That's my shit. Give me some sneakers.
What I'm wearing right now.
Exactly. And now like I'm old and I guess like the dad age. Just give me some dad Nikes. Not really, but like some cool like runners. I'm cool. I'm good. Give me some nice little runners. And even then, like, I'm getting away from like just buying Nikes. Like, I love me some fucking Vans. I see why these kids fucking love them. They're so easy to wear. For them to be like flat foot shoes, I actually kind of love them. Like they feel comfortable to me. But anyways, but yeah.
White guy, mid 40s. I wear New Balance.
So Peep, right? I've been talking to a bunch of different people, or not, or just like meeting with people here, and mentoring with them. And then also a couple shows that I watch, like these fucking, like, not to say these fucking, but like these rich guys, these really like fucking New Balance. Like everybody, like they cool. And I'm like, yo, I'm loving this. Like, I'm really learning to get like I don't want to say conservative, but like my money saving like swag one. Like I'm seeing why everybody wears the New Balances. I'm seeing why everybody wears the Vans, and I'm loving this shit. Like, low-key, I'm loving it.
My favorite part of the New Balances, right? Because if you look at like Nike or Reebok or Converse and any of the sneakers, right? Just
Yep.
like 55 different versions.
Yes.
Every dude I know, also mid 40s or 50s or 60s, white guy, same New Balance. There's like 2 variations of the shoe.
Yep.
You have one or the other, or maybe you have both, but that's it. It's everywhere I go where there's white people, I'm looking at their shoes and I'm like,
It's those
have
it's
the
those-
same sneakers.
those white with the blue check Nikes and the fucking gray New Balances. I'm telling you, and I'm learning why though. And I'm like, holy shit, so even to kind of correlate it now to modern day, right? Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre has been in the news a little bit recently, and then he was with some young girl, anyways, but he was spotted seeing, right? And Jay-Z, once again, you see these guys, Dr. Dre, nothing but all white Air Forces. All white, and he says it. I wear nothing but all white Air Forces and like black sweatpants and whatever. Like, I get it. Holy shit. Jay-Z, when he was out on Valentine's Day, paparazzi caught him out on Valentine's Day. Beyonce, of course, looks beautiful. But like Jay's like, I got my Puma sneakers on, I got my my sweatpants suit. I'm good. And I'm like, I get it. Like now getting into my financial literacy. And even talks to these people, right? They're like multimillionaires, almost, let's say almost half a billionaires. And they're like, yeah, why spend a bunch of money on clothes that mean absolutely nothing? And then one person broke it down to me one day. He was like, think about it. Really think about how many times the clothes, the expensive shit, the designer shit that you may have gotten, whether it was real or fake or whatever the case may be, how many times did that shit get you the draws or get you into a relationship? And literally, if you're honest with yourself, probably not a lot, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it never was really that. It was what I said. It was my game. It was what I was speaking, who I was. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of things outside of the materialistic shit, right? So that really got me thinking. So yeah, I'm starting to love. Just like, and even now thinking, right? Everybody, to be fair, the Jay-Z's of the world don't have to buy clothes. Very true. They're getting clothes for free. But even going to that fact, I love how even when he was on CNBC this morning, right? Everything that he was wearing was his. So for me, like, why continue to invest my money into other brands when I have a brand and I can advertise myself for free all day, every day, however many colors I want to? So from now on, like, don't be surprised if you don't just see me in. I'll pitch you off shortly hoodies all day, every day, right? Like that's if I'm sorry. Yes, some hoodies and certain things feel a little bit different, but after about 2 or 3 washes, all that shit feels the same. I'm sorry. Give me a brand or give me something that states otherwise. And when you get into like the real big designer shit, you can't wear that shit more than twice, more than 3 times. That's just like that. Look, you think we'll go from the simplest items, right, to the most expensive. You all pair all whites or Air Force lows, right? Air Force One lows. When I was in school, them shits was like $65, $75. Now they're 90. They're like 90 on the small sizes and like $110 on the big sizes. So like my size. Everybody's wearing them. You can't get more than a month of those before those things look debatable. 2-3 months, them things is fucking beat, right? So you're constantly getting pairs. Now you look at the red bottoms, right? And this is a whole nother trickery. And me and one of my investment groups was talking about it, right? And how it's crazy. So you go to the basic Socate not Louis Vuitton, Christian Louis Vuittons, right? The red bottoms. You go to the basic nude or black that you see like a lot of the like lawyers and stuff wearing with the red bottoms. Excuse me. They're getting those are like that tax level, you know what I mean? That's the all white Air Force lows of that tax bracket to the women, right? And literally the red, like you start seeing brown, of course, from the red paint chipping off of the shoes. And then that's like, from what I hear, it's like 3 to 4 wears and it's over with. They're like, okay, need another pair of red bottoms. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's crazy. So at this point, I'm like, shit, I'm just gonna start wearing my own shit. I see Chris says, our gas station black tees. Oh my God. Gas station black tees. I love them. That was probably like the best invention like, or not even the invention, but like the best trend ever. Even to this day, I have nothing but black tees. I keep a black. It used to be, you know what I mean, like white tees as undershirts, but for me, it was black. Black tees got me everywhere. You can wear black tee like everywhere. Like you can put like if I promise you, if without being funky, take a black tee as a male, as a man, you could probably take a black tee and put it with maybe two pair of jeans and a pair of shorts and wear that black tee to everything. So going from like your regular day stuff to your gym, switch it with a clean black tee and then tuck it into like some trousers or some jeans with a belt.
Say some
And
like
you can like
you
literally
you get
can
away
take a
with
black
some
tee-
great trousers with
I'm
a black
telling you,
t-shirt
with the-
tucked in sharp. Yeah.
the luxury of the black tee. So you can in Georgia, I can't remember. We used to get black tees for nothing, like pennies on the dollar. Get like maybe 2 black tees for $5. You know what I'm saying? And we go everywhere. So you literally get one black tee, wear it all night, toss it, wash it. By the week's end, by collecting and going to the gas station and getting black tees throughout the week, you probably have about 20 in like a month. It's crazy. So yeah, the black tee, I love the black tee. Unfortunately, I can't find them like that in the gas stations here. It was like the white tee, the extra big white tee. Back in the day. Devonna says he said the trousers tucked in sharp. But yeah, peace. So yeah, shout out to the black tee. The ever non.
You gotta have the right body shape though to tuck a black t-shirt into a
trousers.
You do. Listen.
Oh no, because
do.
the black tee is slimming. The black is slimming.
I tell you what, I just thought about it. I saw a fat guy once in a black tee and trousers trying to pull it off, and it didn't happen.
Okay,
but only because he looked sloppy.
See, okay, was the neck. So I hate when these guys get the real tight t-shirt and then they tuck it and the belly is like extra big. So like the neck just comes down and so it's like super tight and the neck's down there. But like if you have a nice, decently fitted tee, even if you have a big stomach, it's a black tee. You can't make a black tee look bad. I'm sorry. Or unless like the t-shirt is like not tucked in the right way. You know how like sometimes when people tuck it, it's like uneven and shit.
Why you'll tuck it anything without buttons? No.
I tuck my t-shirt. Okay, I tuck my t-shirts in at work because I wear my hoodies, and if I'm reaching up all the time, I don't want my ass crack showing. But outside of that, I don't know if I'm tucking the shirt in.
No, listen. Let me defend this because no one's saying that. What I'm saying is, you could wear a black tee. You can't wear a black tee just over trousers. That would look shitty. That would look like you didn't bring a dress shirt and you're looking to find one. Like you're in the lobby in a black t-shirt, not tucked in with trousers, and you're like, hey, does anybody have a white shirt I could throw on with a tie? Because I don't have it with me. That's all I'm saying. I just think, because I've seen it. The black t-shirt tucked in with the gray, it could look good. It could look
good. With a gray
good.
jacket, exactly. With a different color belt or like a brown belt or something. I don't know. I don't have my stylist glasses on, my stylist bifocals on, but we can make it work. I'm sure I've seen a style like that on Pinterest before. Which shout out to Pinterest for always giving me like trendy ideas on how to get dressed. When I always go to like whenever I have a major event, I always go to Pinterest. That's what. Hold on, what she said? That's what a black shirt tucked in looks like too. Jesus. But anyways, I was having fun with this topic, and I kind of want to go into the next one. But man, you know what? Fucking life sucks. Life fucking sucks. So this I've been struggling past couple days dealing with the loss of a very close who I considered like a little sister to me, and that we weren't blood related, but you know how you like build certain relationships with somebody and they, you know what I mean, like they build that bond. And I've said this on this podcast before. I have quite a few relationships with people that I consider brothers and sisters that aren't necessarily blood, but have proven themselves in certain ways, certain formats for me to consider them of that nature. Not saying that I put them at a higher or equal playing field as my actual biological brothers and sisters, because nobody comes before them at all. But you know what I'm saying, and that's in that same respect in the respect category of, you know, being there for them whenever they need me, and then the same, you know, for me as well. I for them and them for I.
That's nice.
It's just like when you lose that person or lose one of those people, it fucking gives you a blow, and then especially when they're such a younger age. So and that's what happened this weekend. We were kind of talking about it earlier. The toughest part about it was when you tell somebody like, hey, be safe. You know what I mean? And you like, of course you mean it. And you're, you know what I mean, getting off the phone with that person. And you're like, hey, be safe out there. You know, make sure you guys have a plan. And then fucking something fails. I'll leave it at that. But like, plans don't, for some odd reasons, fucking plans get mixed up, and people do things that I'm sure they never meant to do, but shit, I don't know. Things happen, right? And then it brings me back to when I was younger, right? And you're like, fuck all the stupid things that you did and you survived, and you're like, why, you know what I'm saying? Why did this person have to go? Especially being at such a young age. And then two, like, at first I kind of not to say I felt guilty, but then I felt like, fuck, that I kind of jinx it. But then, you know, of course you can't feel that way because you'd be in doubt for a lot of things in life, right? But so when you, I don't know, like, so when I'm trying not to fucking
Get emotional. That's what this show's about.
Yeah, when I get emotional, it gets ugly. It gets fucking ugly. And then, like, you know, like the tears come, and then you can't understand me, and then like I don't have the tissues right here to like clean my nose and shit like that. So, but it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. One of the biggest things that I was thinking about when I got the news was after I was kind of like able to process that, or accept, not to say process, because I'm still kind of processing. I'm still processing the news, right? But come to terms with like what was said and like what the actual reality was going to be from that point for me got into the news was like, if I have felt this way, or it hit me like a rock hard fucking like just a brick, right? I can only imagine how I would have felt if that was like like one of my two actual sisters. Like, I would be fucking, yeah, nah, like, I'll piss you off shortly, postpone until further notice. Like, like it, and I giggle just because, like, to kind of get out of the dark place of where I know in reality I would be, right? And I think a lot of it also is like, I know that her younger brother is going to need, you know, some strong guys to, you know what I mean, like to be there and, you know, mentor, you know, be mentors for, or yeah, be mentors for him. So it's just like, you know, you got to kind of, stay strong and still accept like, okay, cool. Well, for her, I'll definitely be there, you know, to look out for him as much as possible, as well as I know so many guys that like she had this same bond with, you know, will as well. But it just fucking sucks, man. It really makes you think like, this can't be life. This can't be what, like, whoever, and here we go. And today's the day I'll do it, right? And we joke about it, or we bring it up and we bring light to it. But like, there's a God, and you're just like, this is what a God wants. And everybody's like, oh, there's something positive after. No, like there's nothing positive of ignorance, and not even on her part, on somebody else's part. There's nothing positive of seeing her mother have to go through, her family have to go through this, her younger brother have to go through this. But oh, God had a plan. No, there's no don't hit me with that kind of shit or that kind of or don't hit nobody with that kind of contradictory when
She's
you
in a
say
better
somebody
place.
like, you know what I'm saying? But exactly, like, no, like, who knows how many of y'all motherfuckers have been there to that better place to sit there and say that, like, oh, she's at a better place.
That's a horrible thing to say to somebody when somebody passes. They're in a better place. I mean, as opposed to what? With me in my physical world? What are you talking about? Why would you say that?
And to that, right? And there was some nasty shit fucking said that I won't repeat. But in the lines of that kind of context, or when you're like, oh, don't worry, I'll share my daughter or my son with you because I've heard people say this when somebody loses a child, oh, you know, they're just like yours. My child is just like yours. No, that's not the fucking same. That's not the fucking same. I'm sorry. Well, not sorry, but you know, with all due respect, but that's not the fucking same. Or, you know, like there's so much. And out of respect for her family, I said I wasn't gonna go off, you know, and you know, I mean, she was like, no, you know, but like, yo, it's sad. And then when you see how people like their true colors and shit start to really show, I seen it when my father passed, when, you know what I mean, when my grandmother passed. Like, you see this shit, you know what I mean? Like when somebody passed, and then, you know, friends and family members start coming out of the woodwork and want to know what you're gonna do with this stuff, what you're gonna do with that stuff, what, like. I hate seeing that. You know what I'm saying? And then when you see that with a group of people and you're like, she hasn't been gone more than 48 hours. And y'all are fucking slyly trying to do, you know what I'm saying? Trying to slither your way into some bullshit. So you're just like, yo, that shit is just, I hate people. This is one of those weekends where it really make me hate people. Like Sunday, damn near Sunday and Monday, I was glad that we weren't recording Monday because I had to shut off. I had to shut off from the world pretty much Sunday and Monday. It's just like dealing with like dealing with like how people's attitudes are, you know what I'm saying? And then also like with some funny shit that's going on with it, you're just like, people are fucked up. And for people to always claim, like, this is why I always agree, like keeping your circle small, like, because it would be those same people that swear that they're your ride or dies and they're for you and all this, that, and third. But when the shit hits the fan, they will always keep their best interests at heart and number one. You know what I'm saying? I learned that shit at a I learned that and realized that at a very young age. But unfortunately, I didn't start believing it until later in life. I mean, now I'm glad that's something that I believe later in life. And it kills me because that's one of the conversations that me and her had not too long ago. Watch who you're around. Watch who you accept in your circle. Just because people are nice doesn't mean they're always going to be there for you. Doesn't mean that they're always going to have your best interest in mind at heart.
You know, being part of this, I don't want to sound like I'm just plugging the CMG Podcast Network. But in dealing with so many people at the CMG Podcast Network, I'm just joking now. The Keys brothers have been with us for like 3 years now. And I mean, my goodness gracious, I feel like those guys, I don't know how many uncles those guys have, but it seems like every couple of months, I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like another family member. And you know, I just had one in November. A buddy of mine took his own life. Our buddy Jared from Throwing Jabs, just his longest and oldest and bestest friends just passed away this week.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, you know, again, man, it's like it's but I think when, again, in the case of your friend, where, you know, how old was she? 25?
25. Just turned 25. Literally celebrating her 25th birthday.
Oh boy. 25, 45. I think Jared's guy was 45. I mean, I think when people get cut down young, it makes you reflect. What are you? You're 32?
33, yeah.
33? Okay. Yeah, right. I mean, so again, she's close in age to you. Like, I'm thinking she's a kid, but to you, that's a contemporary. Right? That's somebody that's Yeah. Right. If I was, I mean, she to me would be like some kid. You to her, it's like a peer. So I mean, I again, very similar situation to I literally was just with Jared the other day, the day after it happened, talking to him about it, and he and you had counseled me during my own rough times, and I think it's that because you mentioned, having lost your dad and your grandma, you're sad, they're gone. Your grandma was sick, had cancer. You expected it. It's when
even
people
then,
get cut down. So Rob, I tell you what, I think there's a couple of things at play. Number one, it's a little bit of your own selfishness. I know it sounds like a dicky thing to say,
no,
but
very true though.
You're angry that they're not there for you anymore and that you can't be there for them. So that's kind of an unselfish part, but that's the bond of the relationship. You were, I think we didn't talk about it on the show. I think you and I talked about this beforehand though. The idea of you can't pick up that phone, like, oof. You're my pickup person. That's who I do. I call you up.
But even then, I was saying, that it was, I couldn't even pick up the phone, and I agree with you, but I couldn't pick up the phone to call her to check on her, and that's super selfish. But you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I hear you, and I agree with you on that. It's just, I don't know. I guess I said that just to mention that. But the people you want to go to war in the ring are not the same people that visit you in the hospital. Very true. Very, very true.
Well, I laugh too, dude. Speaking of, because I mean, and I know you feel like if one of your siblings died, you'd be devastated.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, one of them, I might postpone a show for. For me, Jared. I didn't even realize Jared. I was just literally talking about Jared. I didn't realize he was even tuned in tonight. And what's up, Jared? I appreciate that you're here and I hope you're doing good, brother. Those are,
Jared, what's up?
For me, the people that are important to me are people like Jared, people like you. Those are the people that I care about. Those are the people that I would be sad because, again, I think if you go back to topic number one, where you talk about being around people with similar, vision and similar drive and motivation, I always laugh we live in this cute little suburban neighborhood, and I've told you this nonsense before. There's like 5 couples, all around the same age, all a bunch of Gen Xers, and we would get together like once a month. And the last time we would get together every year is like in October, and like we'll probably pick it up at the beginning of February, right? Because the holidays you probably do, but most of us don't spend the holidays with the people that we spend most of our time with. Mm-hmm. And for me, sometimes, although I spend a lot of time with my in-laws, so I don't mean to say them, but spending time with my family is not something I would normally do. And it's something that I hate to say this, but in many ways I dread. I don't want to go to their house to celebrate things.
I used to feel that way, and I think that had a lot to do with who I was married to at the time. Because I just knew it wasn't going to be a fun time or what I used to want to, and then I also used to outcast myself, or feel outcasted. Well, let me correct that. I used to feel outcasted, but a lot of the times when I look at it, especially going through therapy now, I just outcasted myself with a lot of things growing up because of the way I grew up and I felt, right. But now, especially now with my siblings, my the 5 of us, I think we've matured and grew up. I think especially what it was for us growing up, seeing how like shady and like ridiculous our parents were, and like how they were with each other, and then their parents, our grandparents, and how like we didn't want that, right? So we said, I remember this was a couple of years ago, we actually sat down one day, and we had a real heart to heart with like the 5 of us, and we're like, hey, we never wanted to be that. Like we never want to be that growing up. Like we would rather have like the best relationship with each other and like grow, right? Instead of like being against each other or like being what we saw growing up. So I'm super grateful for that. And I think that like was one of the moments where I actually felt like accepted again into the circle. So I definitely can relate with you, Joe, how at one point I would have dreaded it. Or even when I was in the military, there was a lot of times like I came back a lot, but like I wasn't back. Like I was here, but I wasn't home. Like I didn't spend a lot of time with them. I like the thought of being home and like being around them, but like being around them physically was still not what I wanted to do. But
sucks.
Fucking sucks.
That
but now
sucks,
I'm glad.
man.
But even then, but like why? But I think that's just also how, you know, I think everybody's family is different. Like I remember having a conversation with a couple people and being like, yo, I can never, like, in my mind, and this is gonna sound kind of wrong, but like my mom is the number one, you know what I'm saying? But like, even if I ever get married again, I understand now that balance of like husband and wife and how that should be outlooked. But in my mind, like my mom's always going to be there for me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are like, oh, that's messed up. Your wife should be number one, just that and a third, or whatever. Your significant other should be number one. I'm sorry, through thick and thin, my mother's never given up on me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't even know where the fuck I was going with this. Having that conversation, right, with a couple guys, and one guy was like, nah, fuck that, fuck my mom. And we were all like, what? Are you fucking serious? He was like, yeah, fuck her. But he was explaining that they didn't have the best relationship, right? She used to do some things to him and had, you know what I mean, had some things done to him and, you know what I mean, took advantage of him in a lot of different ways. So it was hard to like swallow that, especially off of first reaction, like, especially this is being a black kid. And like it's in the black community, like your mother's like everything, right? So when you hear that, it just kind of threw a wrench. And you're like, everybody doesn't have that same relationship with their parents or with their siblings or whatever. But I'm glad and I'm blessed and thankful because honestly, that's my circle. Outside of like my brothers and sisters and my small extended family, that's it. I don't fuck with nobody. Like I might associate with people, but especially now, like if it ain't the same, like you could go through my phone and you see the same people. That's it. You might see a bill collector here and there, but outside of that, it's the same people, the same group chat, and I love it that way. I fucking love it.
I mostly talk to my mom through the comments on Facebook. We definitely connect on Facebook sometimes.
See, that's the thing. Like me and my mom, we probably talk.
It's an illusion.
See, we talk maybe 2 to 3 times a week, and then like even then, like I can't remember if it was us talking about it or if it was somewhere else. But like when you call and you're just like, I know she doesn't probably like when I call. She's probably like, fuck, what does he want? But we still have that, you know what I mean? We talk. Same thing with me. Like when I did
say that. That was me.
When I see her name,
I'll undermine you.
I'm like, shit, here we go. But it's my mom. So to me, like I'll spend 2 hours on my phone, and I'm sure, like even just the other day, me and her were on the phone probably for 5 minutes, and then it got quiet. And then it took probably about 2 minutes for me to realize that it was just like we were just kind of like doing our own thing, but on the phone. And I was like, all right, Ma, I'll let you go. You know, but it still felt good to me because we'll sit there for conversations and like talk for 2.5 hours, or we'll sit there and bullshit and then like it goes silent for 5 minutes and then pick right back up or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. I feel spoiled, I guess, that I'm lucky to have that kind of relationship with my mom because my mom and
I will talk about the Yankees for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
She's a huge Yankees fan. She got
there you go.
Yankees. Yeah. But after about 10 minutes of asking stupid questions, which she's prone to do, I'm already frustrated, and then we'll discuss things that we don't agree on. And then the rest of the conversation is me shouting at her.
That'd be interesting. Like I'm still scared to shout at my mom. Like she might not like be as quick with the hands, but she's quick at throwing shit still. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to see the things. But even then, like I think of like how like our relationship has matured now, but like still there's certain boundaries. I'm like, yeah, I'm not crossing that with my mom. I'm good. Let's see here. Kids and your mom are number one. Jared says my mother and I don't speak.
I love that. I think the contrast between You know,
Which one?
again, like Frank is like,
Oh, Frank.
kids
Okay,
and
I
your
was about
mom
to
are
say. All I
kids
heard
and your
was
mom are number one, and you're like,
Okay.
well, yeah. And then Jared and I are like, well, we don't speak to our
We don't speak
moms,
to
and
her.
you're like, well, that's weird. You know, my kids don't talk to their mother.
which.
My older two daughters haven't spoken to their mother in 6 years.
But do they
Um,
consider your wife now their mom? Their mom though.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so yeah, so that's their mother. You know what I'm saying? Like even then, like me growing up, my father who passed away in 2012 isn't my biological father, but that's my father. Like that's who I knew as my dad. That's the person who raised me. That's the person who was that father, father figure for me. So yeah, they have their mother. Yeah, but I
Well,
get
so
what you're
again, I
saying.
think that begs the whole other question, though, is like, what is family? Is family the people that raised you? Is family the people you came up with? Are they the blood related people? Is it the people that are just in your life that you legit love?
No,
'Cause
family.
I have a very different opinion of what family is than I did when I was younger.
So what's your opinion of family now?
It's the people that I can count on. It's the people that I choose to spend time with, people that I legit love, people who I would be sad if something bad happened to them, people who I would want to help if they were in a bad situation.
Mhm.
That's what I consider family.
See, and I used to,
And it's sad that for me, most of those people are not people that I'm blood related to.
and honestly, when you look at that kind of stuff, because I remember even earlier, I was talking about how trying to look back at your lineage and shit like that. Like, just because they're your fucking blood doesn't mean they're great. Imagine you go back into your lineage or your history, and one of your great uncles was a fucking asshole. Hold on, let me see what Jared said. Jared says, even when someone steps up, the abandonment issues usually remain intact. Very true. And
Well,
that's
it's funny.
unfortunate.
I'll tell you what, Jared and I are very close and have been for a couple years now. And he Scrub Scraps, just remember that Scrub Scraps.
Scrub
It's
Scraps.
a boxing program. And it's amazing. It's like therapy rehab. It's an amazing program, but
Okay.
we'll spend some time on that because there's some big news coming with that soon enough. But Jared came over and it was, we're kind of talking about Scrub Scraps and he brought some equipment over. We did a little sparring in the backyard and Kaylee got really super into it. And we had a conversation about abandonment and the idea that her mom abandoned her. And then she looked at me and she said, "Thank you for never abandoning me." And I said, "Yeah, why would I? Of course. Like, no big thing. It's what you're supposed to do." And Jared, for what I still maybe the only time, like got pissed at me, like literally like yelled at me. And that was his whole point was no, not every parent. That's not what every parent does. It's what good parents do. Good parents stick around in their kids' lives. Shitty ones don't. And he's right. As much as my wife fills that void for my daughter now, it's still never going to be right for her. And that's sad. Because listen, loss in your life, whether it's through death or abandonment, it hurts and it takes a long time to get over that. And I know people, I'll put it to like this. So I was born in 1975. My grandmother died in 1969. I'm talking like another generation ago, right? 1969. My dad in 2021 can break down crying about his mom's death like it happened yesterday.
Which I totally understand because I mean,
devastated. If my dad thinks about his mom, more than whatever you would think about a deceased parent, I guess in a normal day, he will break down crying. And I think to myself, it's his wife too, right? I'm like, I don't know if I would be. I'm just kidding. I hope my mom's not watching.
Oh, jeez.
I hope she's not watching tonight. That'd be my luck. So I get it, but I mean, it's a big loss. And the idea of kind of getting over it, I don't think that's real. There's no such thing as getting over it. There's dealing with it, which is something completely different because bottom line is, right, when you lose somebody, you got to deal with it. And the hurt and the sadness and the loneliness or whatever the relationship brought and was has to be replaced.
Yeah.
You know, you lose someone super close to you, that's like a giant void, and you're always gonna feel that. You're gonna feel that forever.
What's that? Jared goes, we have to credit ourselves for what we've done. When we shortchange ourselves, we minimize the actions of the absent parent. You know, I think I relate this to even with myself. It took me a while. So I was raised by my aunt, in a single parent household. My mom, she was with they were living away with my stepdad at the time with my other siblings. So like to me, I felt like the outcast, but I didn't have a father. You know, outside like I didn't my biological father not in the picture, right? So like I remember growing up a lot of times I felt like I'm being like I don't like even I remember growing up it was hard for me to kind of like accept my dad as my father. I was like, you know, he's not my dad, he's just my stepfather, and I would be so mad because like I didn't know who my biological father was. But I'm glad I was able to get older, and even as it took me probably like a year or so as I got into the military to be to that full understanding and grateful for the actual like father he was, and then like kind of get over, you know, not having actual like knowing, or not having, because everybody has a father, but not biologically knowing or not knowing my biological father or having that relationship. So then I remember being like, well, you know what I mean? Oh, well, you know what I mean? Like, and kind of just relating it that way. Like, I didn't have a father either. So, you know what I mean? Tough it up. But it's different when, especially, and somebody had to correct me one time and say, it's different from when you didn't have your father. So like, it's not like you had something snapped from you. It's different from like having your father and then like they're just being like a shitty father, or them being in your life and then totally not being there at all. Like you have memories with this person and then totally not being there. And I said, you know what, you're right. That's a whole different thing, right? Not everyone has a dad. You're right. And you know what's crazy? Just culturally, that line used to get flipped. Not everybody has a dad, but everybody has a father, and all that. But yeah, that line just get flipped. But anyways, I didn't want this to get down to a whole parental fucking.
But you knew it was gonna. You knew this was gonna veer off the road, and always
does. I thought it was gonna kind of slip down a deep. I kind of had a direction, like not had a direction in mind, but I thought this was gonna take a deeper direction, which it probably still might. Because
it seemed like you didn't want to cry here. It seemed like we were avoiding Rob dealing with his emotions, so I figured we would deal with it in a more general sense.
I'm not trying to get into it. No, like I'm not trying to cry. Well, I don't want to cry on here. I don't want to cry on here because like I don't have enough viewers right now for it like to make a big effect. Like, and then everybody here I love like in a special way. So they're just gonna make fun of me afterwards anyways. So it's not like it's gonna, you know, take this to the next level. I don't
Frank
think
is already texting me about it. He's really enjoying this. Not as much as Carlos.
No, I mean,
BT Dubs. We probably got to talk about that too. Speaking of losses. Yeah. I don't think you know about this. Carlos went after you the other night on Speaking It Real.
I'm not about to. We'll entertain that afterwards. I'm telling you right now, unless
a smile on your face, though.
Unless conservatives are really ready to go toe to toe and have some like direct, like until conservatives are ready to answer direct questions, like with direct answers and not fucking beat around the bush. I don't have time. Like all this political nonsense. Like, come with something correct, and then like. Outside of that, like even you'll hear later, like politics is trash right now. Set an example. Yo, crying is tough guy territory. I tell you right now, like I've definitely done my fair share of crying, but it's not necessary on that pitch you off shortly, because then you have, you know, guys like Carlos that like see this shit and then like have them thinking that like he can, you know, say some shit crazy, and he hasn't like watched, you know, episodes 1 through like 10 of I'll Piss You Off Shortly, when like Rob was just letting everything fly. So like let's not get it twisted. I'm the most disrespectful person on Clovercrest Media because I don't give a fuck. And Carlos, honestly, you caught me not giving a fuck about speaking it real that Friday night. So I'll go back, and then we'll go back. I like to hear it verbatim, so I'll definitely go listen to that episode. Make sure you guys go listen to Speaking It Real every Friday night, 5 p.m. as they close out the beautiful week. And you know, Carlos kicks himself in his ass and eats his own shit eats his own words. I'm sorry, not own shit. Eats his own words every Friday. As I kill their comment section. So if you guys are looking for something thrilling and entertaining, you'll usually catch them every Friday. But anyways, what I was trying to say was like, with this shit is yeah, this shit can't be life. And then like, do you ever think about like when you're gonna go?
Oh, sure.
Like, and I know this sounds
time.
like, dude, but like, I literally sit here. I don't know if it's healthy, but like, I'm always thinking like, I might not be here tomorrow. I might not. And then I kind of think like now I'm like, who's like, I see the outcry right for her now, and I'm like, I see how many people are hurting, and I actually see the outreach. And I'm like, fuck. I hope I have half that impact, and not even like I remember. Well, I should say at this point, this time last week, I would have been like, damn, I hope I have that same impact. But then you start to think about it, and I know the comments is going crazy with the back to the guy eats his own shit. Yes, Carlos does eat his own shit. We're gonna get back to that. I promise you, Jared. I promise you. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. This is not gonna be a 3-hour episode. I promise you. I don't have the time, energy, or patience for 3 hours tonight. But just like the black church reverend says, if you just wait with me just a little bit longer, just deal with me just for a little bit longer, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna land. I promise you.
I cannot confirm that Carlos has ever eaten shit. Carlos is a really nice guy who's just got no sense of reality.
Shit, stupid, horrendous, idiotic things.
To the point where he makes Frank look smart. It's an amazing thing.
Shit is an acronym for stupid, hideous, idiotic, terrible things. Just shit, right? But anyways, like I think about fuck, got me all off my thing, right? But anyways, I think about that shit all the time, and then I think like I hope I have that impact, and maybe if I don't, and that's what I'm saying. So now maybe I kind of feel like I don't, like, fuck them. If they don't fuck with me now, don't fuck. And that's like, if you don't fuck with me now, please don't fuck with me. Like if I pass, like if I pass away overnight, and Joe puts it out like, I don't want a bunch of people fucking starting to like I'll Piss You Off Shortly and like, oh my god, this is a good y'all wasn't fucking with me then, don't fuck with me now. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that I hate. Like people that just come out the woodwork and like they never fuck with you in the first place, and then they want to, I miss this person. I just wash cars. What the hell do I? Frank, you know what? Anyways, I see everybody's trying to get off of this dark
Also,
subject.
for the record, let me
also
be clear that Frank does not work at a car wash. That was a joke that I made a few weeks ago. It's carried on for several weeks. He's
Frank was smart, he just like, yeah, I work at a car wash and I also own 5 of them. Like, so what? Like, let that shit fly, Frank. It's social media. It's the internet now. People can be whatever, right? I did see a funny ass post, and like I got to the point where I didn't know, like, I felt kind of conflicted. I didn't know if I should share it or not because it was it was xenophobic. It was xenophobic. You don't know? You don't know off the top of your head? Let me look up on Google. Anybody in the comments know what xenophobic is?
It means that you have a problem with like Muslims.
Okay, no, not xenophobic. If you have a problem with like, fuck. I want to get the right terminology. So like, not a problem. So it was a problem with it was a joke towards Kris Jenner. Well, not Kris Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner.
Okay, it's like a transgender thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's like, to me, I can appreciate certain humor, right? Even though I'm all for everybody. I support the LGBTQ Community, but this joke was funny. It said, if Bruce Jenner can keep his penis but be considered a woman, then I will keep my guns and be considered disarmed. Seems reasonable. I cracked the fuck up laughing when I heard that. I'm trying to figure out where I was going with that joke, but
transphobic. Thank you.
Transphobic. There we go. I'm not trying to be.
Thank God for Devana. We got somebody smart that listens.
Devana's like my low key. I can't wait to actually have to I'm sure my running bill is gonna be crazy, but she's like my low key PR. I couldn't afford her honestly. Like we would have to get super super big for me to afford her as my public relations. I don't know. I think that's where most of if we ever get a big deal, that's probably where most of my money's gonna have to go into hiring Devana to be my fucking publicist.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh shit. But
Rob, I've actually planned my funeral.
You have?
Yes.
That's crazy. So I had an old will that I still sit on. I have to get it updated because there's a couple things that I need to change. Not necessarily pertinent, but some things I do. But I definitely want to hear about your funeral. I hate this.
These comments are great tonight.
Amendment 6 is the right to bear penises. I stand with you, brother.
Yeah, I've got my whole funeral planned out. I told my wife exactly what I wanted. I will be rolled into the music from The Undertaker. I just think that's a good mood setter.
Okay.
And I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I've always been impressed by The Undertaker. And I thought, if I'm going to die and I'm going to be buried and I'm going to be in a coffin, I definitely want it to go Undertaker style. So I played her the theme. She hated it, but she said she would do it. And then I have a series of really great songs picked out.
Okay.
I can't reveal the songs because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But there will be a light show.
Okay.
And I will be speaking at it.
Okay, so we have a pre-recorded message.
Yeah.
There's going to be a light show.
And then I'm hoping for some sort of a roast-like situation.
Do you really think your wife is going to let this happen?
Yes. Because I'm sure I'll die in an ironic way. You know what I mean? A safe will fall out of the Acme building onto my head. That's how I'll die. It'll be the jokes will write themselves. I'm nearly certain.
I'm telling you. Yes, shameless plug for all those looking for marketing skill sets, marketing talents. You're looking for the best marketing person in New England. You're looking for somebody that's willing to build your brand and help you build your brand and build it to this and scale it to the size that you need it. Go ahead to DevanaD.com. Go check out DevanaD.com. Maybe we can actually get her to give us an actual 30-second ad. We're not saying we're charging over here.
Totally
we'll plug over here for no reason. But anyways, check out DevanaD.com for all your marketing needs, especially if you live in the tri-state area, the best marketing agent around. That's my go-to for all my business endeavors. So go check them out. Go check her out. Where were we at? Always gonna oversell because you're always gonna overproduce. Always gonna overproduce, right? That's a good thing, right? Overproduction. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Too bad. You know who I wish would overproduce instead of underproduce? Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz is a fucking chump. He's a fucking piece of shit. I would have never
unlikable fucking person. Just he looks like an asshole, and he is an asshole.
Looks like an asshole. Smells like an asshole.
Quality could there even be with that guy? How do the people in Texas vote for that guy and feel good about themselves?
I know they have to feel like pieces of shit. They literally his heart is colder than what it was in Texas. And then you know what? I'm sorry. Ted Cruz is everything that Texas resembles. Cold 1 minute and then hot the next minute. Can't make up his mind. And honestly, everything is not. We said this joke last week, right? Everything in Texas must be bigger unless it gets too big, like 4 inches of snow. But I did see, and I felt kind of bad for a second that we were making fun of it. But in all seriousness, some of those houses got fucked up, right? And then I heard that there's something, especially like with the electric bills, because they were like wholesale price electric bills
Yeah.
are like $10,000. Like, I would be like, I don't even know why you sent me that bill. Like, you can keep that bill to yourself.
I would feel bad, but when we have our hurricanes up here, those motherfuckers don't ever want to help. They don't ever want to help.
Oh,
God forbid. So you know what? Freeze, motherfucker.
Honestly, it's not that bad because we freeze all the time. We freeze all the time, and that's what we have insurance for. But back to Ted Cruz's dumbass.
It snowed here the other day for like 20 hours in a row. Holy shit, I got 5 feet of snow in my yard. Get a fucking fireplace, you dumb fucks.
Oh shit. But hey, and then I'm sorry, like everybody goes, well, Ted Cruz was just looking out for his family. No. His overprivileged fucking daughters, I'm not okay. We're gonna go with his story. Another Teddy, another show. I suggest Cruise to the City. That's funny. What was I gonna say? Like, I hate that Ted Cruz put this on his daughters. Like, what kind of man are you to blame this on your fucking daughters? Like, even if this was on your daughters, Nash, like that, they're not. That's not your cop out. That's not your fucking play, right? You're the man of your house. You're the fucking breadwinner. You're the person that makes decisions in your house, right? And not saying that just being the man, you can definitely be the woman and make decisions in your household. But obviously, in his situation, he is, right? He agreed to it. Like, yeah, we're just gonna, like, what kind of leader? Like, Ted Cruz, if you were a billionaire and you had no ties to fucking politics, I would not be mad at you. Go right ahead. Go get in your fucking private jet. Go get in your private jet and get the fuck out of here if you can. But you're flying commercially, cooler than the other side of the fucking pillow. He didn't care until he probably realized the motherfuckers was taking pictures of him. And realize what the fuck he was doing. He couldn't get. If you're gonna do some shit like that, Ted Cruz, you better be fucking hitting up one of your buddies and flying fucking private, not fucking going in the airport, fucking flying commercially, and first class at that. Like, what kind of piece of shit are you, dude? Like, you have a whole state. The people that voted you are fucking suffering, and you're using your fucking privilege to get the fuck out of Dodge to climb that same wall. Right to freedom. That's funny. You gotta jump into Mexico to find fucking safety. Fucking weirdo. And no, that's the leader that y'all choose to fucking like vote for. Not his fault. Texas houses are made from paper 65. Facts though. Facts. You know how quick houses in Texas go up? Well, down south, period. That's one of the things. So like I was wondering, I was like, yeah, I'm sure they didn't use they use like the 1/2 inch thick fucking sheetrock and all that other shit. So hey, I guess you not necessarily get what you pay for, but I bet you a lot more houses are going to be built with thicker sheetrock and a lot more better materials. I wonder how Magnolia Farms, you know, the what's the couple, the power couple from HGTV? That's not, is it Flip This House? What do they do? What's his name? Not Chuck. I'm thinking
Chip.
of Chip. There we go. Chip and
Gaines, Chip and Joanna Gaines.
I wonder how their properties are doing.
Oh, I hope they froze to death, the two of them. I just find her so annoying. I really do.
Man.
Joanna Gaines.
Joanna Gaines.
Neat day now.
But I hope that has there been any rumors of like Ted Cruz being like relieved or like I definitely don't think he's getting revoted. Like I don't think he's getting reelected. I pray not. Like Texas, y'all gotta be big stupid to fucking. That's another thing. Y'all got to be big stupid to vote him back in. And I foresee Texas going blue because guess what? It was all those red politicians that kept the whole energy fucking power grid from stopping and getting fucking redone. So yeah, hey,
Kentucky has been reelecting Mitch McConnell for 30 years. So any hope that Texas will come to here's the thing. I don't know if you know this, but the Fox News.
Yep.
Has been blaming the power outages. This is fucking amazing on the Green New Deal. Which
I'm so sick of Fox News.
Which is literally just some shitty ideas that AOC and a couple of her friends like kicked around.
Yeah.
It's not even on paper. It doesn't exist, you fucking idiots. But I'll tell
Carlos
you what,
wants to fucking talk shit about me.
I guarantee on Friday night, I guarantee Carlos he'll say the Green New Deal at least 3 times.
Oh yeah, promise you.
Because that's, I mean, again, this is why I say, love the guy, but not dealing in reality. It was just like with the Keystone XL pipeline and the 11,000 people that are on unemployment.
All these jobs
Really?
We lost all these jobs. You can't lose
it would have
jobs you
to
never had.
exist. Yeah, it would have to exist for there to be people who had those jobs, and there's not. And this is the same shit all over again. They were trying to blame windmills. Like,
I'm gonna listen to 45.
What are you even talking about? Your whole fucking state's based on oil. That's literally that's what the state is. And a good example of why that's a shitty idea. So
Well,
you got what you got. Sorry, Houston.
Deal with it. And now maybe to fluff up Carlos's little feathers and all these other fucking conservatives. So I had somebody reach out to me, and it really fucking grinded my fucking, like, it pissed me the hell off, right? This person, and I'm not gonna dog him because, like, I try and give this person a chance, and I'm literally pulling up the message so I can really, like, get to what kind of, like, pissed me off. So, like, he started out of the blue. The windmills are frozen. That's funny. So I posted something. I'll piss you off shortly, and then he saw it. Come to find out, this dude doesn't. First and foremost, if you do not listen to the podcast, do not message me about anything I fucking post on I'll piss you off shortly. Don't message me at all. If you do not like. Because one, I'm not going to if you don't take the time to actually listen to this fucking podcast, I'm not taking the time to fucking respond to you, period, right? And I told myself I wasn't going to go in on Buddy because, like, he actually, like, sometimes has, like, good feedback. But I got pissed off because he said, do you question the government or the news and the media? And, like, that was his leadoff question. Like, you message me and you say, do you question the government or the news and the media? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So then he was saying, well, from things that I hear and, well, things that I see on your posts, it seems like you don't question the government or the media. Now, I could be wrong, but maybe for at least 28 episodes, 28 out of 31 episodes, I've dogged the shit out of not only the ex-president, I've definitely had a whole episode that was based on, like, what I didn't agree with on Biden. And I'm dogging the government and politicians all the fucking time. So when you lead off with dumbass questions like that, Mr. DC, I'll put your initials out there, Mr. DC, and we'll see if you listen to this episode, right? It tells me that, one, you haven't taken the time to research anything that I've posted, or you haven't even taken the time to actually read what I posted, the article, because he starts to ask questions that if he would have actually read the article that I posted, he would have answered his fucking self. Just a little bit of fucking research and reading. So, like, especially if you're just a fucking, if you're just a person that likes to read headlines, don't question me on anything. And then two, like, if you're not going to do your due diligence and actually, like, research something, and, like, if you read an article, you should probably try and at least find 5 more articles about that topic so you can have a very better understanding of what the hell is going on. If not 5, at least 3. At least 3. So I hate when people ask me questions and they haven't done their own due diligence and their own research. So I kind of want to, like, just call that out right there. Like, for anybody that might get upset or might have people that might be messaging them, because that's another thing. Somebody messaged me saying that their cousin or whoever was, like, upset because of something that they saw and they shared. Tell them to either go in the comment section so they can get ate the fuck up publicly, stay out my fucking DMs with some dumbass bullshit, or 3, like, educate yourself and do some research and listen to a fucking episode. Because once again, if you're not going to take the time to at least listen to some episodes and shit like that, I'm not going to take the time to respond to a lot of dumbass emails and a lot of dumbass fucking DMs that I get. So that's just a little fair warning there. Educate yourselves before, like, you try to educate me or anybody else that, like, might be a fan or might be a fucking supporter of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. Because a lot of the times what happens is these conservatives take one single narrative without any kind of doing any research or history and find themselves stumbling against their own words and fucking tripping up against what the fuck they're saying because they don't know anything. They don't. All they know is the same dumbass narrative that these same stupid and false news places like The Onion and all these other fucking resources that come around, right? Like it's getting to the point where one, you guys are reaching and stretching just for ignorance, but then you guys are gonna turn around and say that you want fucking, oh, you just want to fucking play fair. And honestly, like now I kind of didn't want to even get into the place of like addressing these people, but I feel like the need is there because you guys feel like I'm slow and I'm not going to confront you guys, or I'm not going to address the issue. Like that's another, like, don't address anything that we say or do on I'll Pitch You Off Shortly and expect us not to come back at you with full force or with the facts or with what we know. Like, this is not one of those uneducated platforms. We actually take the time and do our due diligence. We actually take the time and not only give you entertaining information, but we also give you facts, right? So miss me with all that bullshit. Next one, following along. Did you have anything for that, Joe? I'm sorry, I fucking
No, you are. You know what? Get it all out tonight.
Honestly, I'm glad I probably didn't hear that episode. Now that I'm thinking about it, if I would have heard that episode Friday, I'd probably be dogging them. But politicians politicking, right? I don't even know how I spelled that shit. Politicians politicking. Biden, President Biden. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I need you to come over here real quick, Biden, because my man, I don't know what fucking button they press to keep you in repeat, but I'm sick of hearing the same fucking lectures, the same fucking speech, the same. Like it literally seems like somebody just rewinds the fucking. You remember the old cassette players, and it would be like, and you hit the fucking heavy ass button, and you hear clink, blah 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 blah, COVID and Hey, Biden, I ain't hearing no progression, brother. I'm hearing the same drawn out fucking plan that we've had for the same year, bro. It's getting kind of played out. It went from a #1 hit record to like you in like Billboard top 25. You about to lose that 25th spot, brother. I don't know what his actual plan is. Like, it seems like his COVID plan was very, and this is me throwing him a bone. It seems like his COVID plan was based off of a fake plan that was projected by Trump's old administration, but of course we found out that it was never there. So now he's trying to scrape up and find the means to make this plan happen. But what I would have rather him done is sat there and just been like, hey, exactly, remix that shit, remix the whole plan, and sit there and say, look, this is what it was. Well, this is what we expected by this plan, because we thought these were the numbers that we got from the previous administration. Look, this shit is not going to happen. So we have to fucking readjust. And I don't see him being completely honest with the American fucking people with his plan. I feel like he's still trying to, instead of like readjust and reevaluate, he's just trying to stick with this plan because he feels like he's going to get crucified if his fucking COVID plan doesn't fucking go through. And that's the thing. Like, I even with politics, like any politician, we can accept the fucking no. We just don't want to accept the fucking bullshit and then the fucking rub and tug that you try and give us, to try and make our fucking souls feel better. Let's face it. Like, it seems like you guys had a super higher demand for the numbers were super. What I feel is that I feel like the Trump administration was trying to save their own ass. So they put out some crazy belligerent numbers that they knew weren't going to be obtainable. And they said, hey, fuck it. The best part about it is either we can lie and figure it out later, or it just falls onto the Dems, which they probably had a good idea of what was going to happen. It fell into the Dems, and now the Dems are kind of going off of numbers that these idiots were playing, and they realized that those numbers were nowhere close. But now it's super confusing because you hear on one side of the fence that people are getting tested and so many people have been, getting these vaccines, but then they're still saying that we need more people. But it seems like, I think the last number I heard was anywhere from between, and I'll throw a mean spread out there, between, 30 to 40% of people already been vaccinated. And they said we only have to, for us to be substantial, we have to be 75%. So like if we've had 30 to 40 or let's say 25 to 35 on a better spread, right? Of percent of people who need to be vaccinated already vaccinated, and that was just the specific a certain age group. I don't know what the fucking problem is. It seems like literally by summer, like we should be in the clear, and not everybody should have to get vaccinated. I don't know, but then you have a lot of people saying now you have a whole different strain, and then there's mixed things with that, and whether or not what I mean, you go one, I don't know, what is it now that they're only like 95% effective, and from like 99 or 98% effective, like. What's the big drop? Like, what's the big difference in the drop when you have like I guess vaccines out here that are 88% effective versus 90 something? So all this shit's fucking confusing now. I think that like one or two things. Either this shit is really fucked up, or we're coming to the end and they're still milking this, and the Dems are trying to milk this as much as possible to save space or save face for a lot of other things that they can't make happen right now. Which I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put it past any of them that they're like trying to milk COVID as much as possible. But then again, I mean, or we could really just be or summertime's really gonna be a fucking new wave. It's gonna be one of the two. You already got the governor, New York governor. What's his name?
No, Cuomo.
Yeah, it is Cuomo. I always get Cuomo, and he was Cuomo. You can't be the main fucking voice throughout this whole pandemic, trying to crush the fucking president, and you out here doing dirt yourself, brother. It don't work that way. It don't work that way, and they gonna get you. They gonna get you, Cuomo. I don't know exactly what they say. It was, it was the fact that he was leaving, miscounting the number of deaths at a specific age group and elderly homes and shit like that. I don't know, but when I was looking at it, I don't know how much it would have really affected, because it seems like he was lowering the numbers instead of like raising them. So like maybe it was like a safe, and this is just me playing devil's advocate. Maybe he was like just trying to like keep the hysteria down. But like I would think that like if you had more numbers, like you would probably get more funding. I don't know, maybe I could be wrong. Like I don't know. I know everybody's like making a big deal about it. But then it starts to make me wonder like, what else is like as far as like money wise or like financial support, like what other states and stuff have been driven to maybe up numbers or like change numbers and shit like that for this whole thing. Not to say that COVID's not real, and that's not what I'm saying, but I do feel that maybe the government has overextended themselves with this, and they might be milking it a little bit. Might be milking it. I don't know. I could be wrong. What do you think?
I think this has been the greatest clusterfuck of all time. Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but January was the worst month of COVID that we've had. The numbers are cases are down 16%, but as you mentioned, so many people have gotten it. So many people have obviously already been vaccinated for it that there's just huge numbers still. You're still seeing it all over the country, especially in the South, which is I
think they've got it best though. They've had this herd immunity. Like maybe that's the key to it all. Like you just go down, but you got
to get herd immunity. 70% or more of the population has to have it, and
I'm sure more than 70% of Atlanta has it. No, I'm sure 70% of Miami has it.
No, we're not even close. We're like 35-40%
nationwide.
Not even close.
But they're saying all these people. But no, I'm sorry. Florida, Georgia, Texas, they're open. I'm sorry. You can't tell me that 70
high cases though.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yes,
those places. That's what I'm saying. Like, those places have to have at least 70% of infected. Have to. because nobody wears masks in that place. Like the rates are super high. So maybe that's just how they beat it. And now you have the herd immunity and less than 1%.
Yeah, but they're not beating it because they're still leading it, and they still have the most cases.
Well,
Every
they're still
day,
getting
they're
it,
still
but
churning out more cases than anybody else.
cases or deaths, though. Because now it seems like the deaths, not to say that the
Well,
deaths
listen, the
have-
more cases you have, the lower your death count is going to look. Because again, this is something that's killing about 0.3% of the people that get it.
one out of every
The problem
600 or
is
something.
when 365 million people have it, 0.3% is like 36 million. So the potential for mass casualties is still extremely high.
But then
you know,
after that, how
again-
many more people are going to get it though? But after
How
so
many-
many people, I mean, I don't know. I guess like,
I mean,
don't
you
know.
can still die of the bubonic plague.
Exactly, and I think that's the other thing. Like, people are just like, I feel like everybody else has forgotten that there's mad other shit. Like, they just feel like it's COVID out here. Like, what the like? There's other shit out here that's gonna kill you. So,
Well,
like,
some idiot I saw today was like 650,000 people die a year of heart disease, and another 600,000 die every year of cancer. How come politicians aren't up in arms about that? They're not. We spend fucking millions of dollars on research.
breast cancer.
We spend
month
money on research. All of your tax dollars are going to pay for that shit. This is something new that doesn't have a cure. How can you be so fucking ignorant? Is
How
my
do we-
only question. How could you want to know why all we're talking about is COVID? Because it's a thing that you can fucking catch easy and there's no cure, you dumb fucks. Holy shit.
I feel like, I don't know. So there's no cure, but we have a vaccine. The vaccine just
Well, it's a
helps
virus, so you
not-
can't. There's no cure for a virus because a virus is just it's airborne bacteria.
We're such just confusing. I have no problem wearing my mask. Unless somebody like really makes it like mandatory, I'm not getting a vaccine anytime soon. That's just my personal thing. I feel like anybody that feels like they want to get a vaccine or they should definitely go get it. Definitely go get it.
Get the Moderna is the one. If you can get specifically my understanding from people that I know that have gotten it, it's got the least amount of side effects.
All I know is my mother-in-law got hers, and that shit kicked her. I don't know which one, but it kicked her ass. That fucking shot kicked her ass. The second shot.
Yeah, there's
second
two
shot
of
kicked
them.
her ass.
There's two of them that will definitely do that to you.
So,
But it's better than dying.
yeah, I haven't taken a flu shot either in a while. So,
But
as,
this isn't the flu, and it's not even
I know.
close to that.
I'm not trying to say this, and honestly, I think I've gotten it before. I think I literally because there was a time, and I've had the flu before.
You know, there's tests to find out if you did have it, and that would
I
be
don't
a
trust-
good thing.
I might take it at some point. I don't know.
Is this like stereotypical, like Black American? I don't trust the science and the doctors, or are you being serious here?
What? Like, what do you mean? Like, oh, I'm being dead ass serious. I'm not getting a vaccine at any point in time. Like, no, like literally, like, I'm pretty sure, like, probably no
Listen,
time before 2020.
You can still catch COVID.
I feel you.
Even when everybody gets the vaccine and it's still going to be out there, you could still
Just like I
catch
can
it,
still
though.
catch the flu. Just like I can still catch
Right,
the
but the
flu.
chances of the flu
just like-
killing you are extremely low. This is
And-
different, and this also, unlike the flu, this doesn't give you heart arrhythmia that we don't know if it's ever going to go away.
I hear you, Joe. I hear you. I just don't feel like being pressured into getting a
Who's
shot
pressuring
right
you?
now.
It's
Yeah,
completely voluntary. You don't have to get one. No one's forcing you.
Socially pressured. Socially
Who's
pressured.
socially pressuring you?
Oh my God! I tell you right now, I told my mother-in-law sat there and was like, "Are you getting?" And we live with her, right? So she's like, "Are you getting the shot?" And I said, honestly, no. Well, why not? You know what I'm saying? And not even just her, just a lot of people. They're like, "Why won't you get it? Why won't you get it? Why won't you get it?" Like, no, because I don't feel like putting something in. I don't feel like putting. Yes, I know.
You
we
know
take
what's
the
in
flu
it?
Shots. Oh, here we go with that same thing.
Do you know
there's
what's in it?
Nope.
Literally COVID. They're putting a little COVID in you, just enough to fuck your shit up for a day. That's different
though, right? So I hear some of the shots, they're not doing that. Like it's
true.
It's an mRNA situation. See, that's what I'm saying. You hear one thing and then there's another. I want to know specifically what the fuck is going on, because somebody says that this doctor says that the shot doesn't fucking give you COVID. Like there's no COVID in the shot. And then there's another one that says it messes with your mRNA, so it doesn't even have the fucking COVID strain into it or whatever. No. I'm like, matter of fact, let me pull it up because I know exactly where I'm going for this.
Are you gonna go on? Is it a website Carlos visits? It sounds like
I don't even have Carlos on my damn Facebook. I only keep winners on my Facebook. Let me see.
Oh my God! No, Isaiah, for the love of God! Come on, you guys.
Good on the shot. I think there's
everybody who's bitching that they want this thing to be over, and then it's like, oh, here's the vaccine.
I'm not bitching.
Yeah.
I'm not bitching.
Oh, come on,
Joe. If I could go somewhere and not be like shamed for going somewhere and being somewhere with a mask, I would. Like I think that there's other holistic ways. Don't ask me which ways, but I think that yes, you can have some ginger-based tea. You can do some things like some real things.
Have you ever heard of hydroxychloroquine? Chlorine? You could just drink that. I think if you take a flashlight and shove it up your ass,
that's not holistic. That's dumb. That's idiotic. That's idiotic shit. But I do feel like just washing my hands, like actually like doing like normal things that I did before this disease happened or this virus.
Like shake hands with people.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or not, or like giving space to people and shit like that. Like, don't not be up on everybody. So like, yeah, I'll wear a mask, and then like when they're like most of the world is vaccinated, I will take my chance without a vaccination. And then maybe if I feel like down the road it's like as easy as the fucking flu shit, hey, if I die from a shot, I'm a hot just see exactly, Isaiah. Like, and that's
Isaiah, let me tell you something real quick. If you get that shot and you die, I'll raise your daughter, and I swear to God, I'll give her all the spoils of life. I promise you that. Just get a fucking vaccine. Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not. See, that's the thing. That social influence. Just get a vaccine. Why?
So this thing can be over. So we can sit here together and do the show in person.
So we haven't sat in a car in close quarters before during this pandemic.
Don't tell anybody that.
No. Joe, no, be real with the shits.
We were on a mission.
No,
I wore my mask when we got out of the car,
and I did too.
I know.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
So okay then. I don't mind. I don't mind wearing a mask.
I don't want to wear a mask anymore.
My lungs ain't pussy. My lungs
I don't want to wear a mask anymore.
So like,
I can't stand it. I struggle.
What do you struggle with? You put the fucking mask on your face.
I can't breathe, dude. I'm not trying to sound like a Trump supporter, but I understand when they start bitching. They're like, I don't know what it is.
It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing.
It probably is.
It's a mental thing.
Shit like this in my face.
I'm gonna put you in that box with Carlos. The I can't breathe people. If you,
I
can't breathe thing. That's a cop out because. Don't get me started. We know where I can't breathe came from. We know where I can't breathe came from, and then white people tried to flip it and make it fucking sympathetic. So, no, that's why y'all try to fuck us. We already know what the fuck happened with that. Let's be
good
real
Lord.
With that. Come on, y'all can breathe perfectly fine.
That's not a good. That's definitely
and that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Joe, that's bullshit. You know how many white people I used to watch do CrossFit and run with a fucking mask on? At all the CrossFit gyms before this shit. So I don't want to hear about, I can't breathe. No, all the motherfuckers was doing CrossFit with the fucking mask on, looking all fucking cool and taking selfies with it. So fuck out of here with that. I can't breathe for 20 minutes in a grocery store.
Let me change that. And in respects to Eric Garner, what I mean to say is I feel very constricted and I don't enjoy it. And obviously I can breathe or I'd be dead. What I'm saying is to have this thing over my face while I'm doing stuff, I just don't like it. I will take a needle in my arm twice and feel like shit the day after if I have to get that fucking thing off. My son said to me the other day, when this coronavirus is over, can we go to McDonald's and go inside and get our food? And I was like,
You can do
damn
that.
fucking straight, we're going to do that.
You know you can do that,
I'm not
right?
doing that shit now, though. I wouldn't expose him to that, dude. It's not worth it to me. There's a vaccine like that close to me getting it, not have to worry about that shit, and then we can go back to
that
normal.
vaccine is gonna.
All I've wanted since this started.
So that vaccine is 100%.
Yes. As far as I'm concerned, good enough.
As far as you're concerned,
Bro, did
So-
you take the
No.
have you ever had mumps or measles? Nope.
have
You
to
know
get a
why? Because you
booster.
took the vaccine when you were a baby.
you had
Yes.
to get a booster. You had to get a booster.
This is the same shit. This is an adult booster,
guess
so
what?
that we can get over this thing.
All I'm saying is I didn't have the option.
I think we're fighting.
opportunity- I didn't have the option. I didn't have the opportunity to decide on my vaccinations when I was a kid.
Thank God, because you would have chose
No.
poorly and you would have
No,
died
no,
a
no, no.
month when you were
No,
8.
I know a lot. I know some non-vaxxers that are perfectly fine, healthy human
I know
beings. and they
non-vaxxers
never-
that are dead
I know not, but that's what
and
I'm
who have
saying.
also
Here we go
caused
with the circle of
outbreaks
life.
in their schools.
That's because they probably fucking went to schools where their kids where it was like uppity shit and kids weren't allowed to go outside and eat dirt. That was a problem. That's a problem with most of those fucking kids. And probably
Well, I
wasn't their
ate
fault.
dirt when I was a kid.
And look
I
at you,
loved
you're
it. I used
alive.
to love licking sand off of concrete. I
And me
enjoyed
and you
that
are
till I
gonna
was
be one of
about
those-
9.
And we're gonna be those grumpy old men that are here till fucking 90. Watch, I promise you.
That's
and that's
right,
what I
because we're
worry
going to get
about.
the vaccine.
No, I'm not gonna get the vaccine, and I'm still gonna be here at 90. And that's one of my worries is that like I'm gonna outlive everybody, and I don't want to. Not to say I don't want to, but like I don't want to be the last one. Like I don't want to experience everybody passing away, especially like in my family and shit like that. Like I can't take that, Joe. Like I feel like after like a certain amount of time, like I'm gonna get numb to it, and I don't. You like you see all the old movies of like Friends and shit like that, and it's always that one person that outlives everybody. I can't do that. I can't be that person. I don't know.
You
how
got me
I
thinking about the Green Mile with Tom Hanks.
See, yeah, like
Yeah, where he's like 400 years old and he just watches everybody he knows dies.
Like
yeah,
at that point,
imagine that.
I want to like if I'm gonna be that old, I need to be that old forever. Like I hopefully like if I stay that old, they're like, hey, we can fucking freeze you and like whatever, or like we can keep you this age forever. Cool, I'll do that at that point because now I'm interested. But don't like let me live to be like 105 because I heard this amazing quote and it was in Billions. It was a point where they're like, 30. I'm gonna fucking misquote it so bad. I'm gonna find it for next week, but it pretty much is the basis of the quote was like after like every like at 30 you're considered a certain thing, at 40 you're considered a certain thing. By the time you're 60, hey, that was he died too young at 70. Oh, he had a good ride at 80. Holy shit, you know what I mean? He actually made it at 90. You're like, holy fuck, he actually had a hell of a good ride. I'm gonna get the quote. I'm gonna get the quote and quote it next week. But I felt that quote when I heard it because I'm like, I don't want to be 90 or 118 and be like the only one there. Like who do you have to go back to and experience shit with? Like, unless I have somebody that I can like be 108 with and be like, holy shit, remember back when, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's different. Like I even think about the media guy. I'm horrible with names, as y'all know. Big media guy that just passed away, white guy, old, amazing. Larry King, right? So Larry King passes away with a wife or whatever, fiance that's on the outs, but very young, right? Like, who did Larry like? Imagine if Larry King had like his buddies to like still hang with, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. And it was no like he was like one of his last of his like group. I don't want to be the last one of my group. That shit, I feel like, I don't know.
Well, at this rate, you're going to be the first one in your group. So there's that.
I definitely will.
That's good
I
news.
definitely will. What do you mean first one in my group?
Rob,
I don't want to be the first one to die.
I don't think I
feel like
could
I'm going to
be
be the first one.
any more clear about how serious COVID is and the
Oh
idea
my
that if
God.
you don't get a vaccine, you'll probably still get it. Again, you can still get the measles if you haven't been vaccinated. And it's worse when you're an adult.
I'm not saying I'm not going to get the vaccination. I feel like I'm just
All
not
right.
gonna get it right now.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Especially right now because they're like, hey, if you got the Pfizer vaccine, you're gonna have to get another one anyways because it doesn't fight against this new strain. Like, let all these like beefy strains come out, and then when y'all get the right one, then I get that one. My dad's father-in-law died at 103 years old. He had no friends in there at the wake. It was just like I can appreciate that, but like I don't want to be one. Like there's things that I want to be able to reminisce about, like with somebody that can like say they experience with it. So like
that's why you got to plan your funeral.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to throw the party, baby.
So my party is literally just my family members. I have just enough for them to go somewhere, take a trip, hopefully. Well, of course, I didn't take account for the devaluation of the dollar at the time. So I'm gonna have to adjust that a little bit. But the money put away, a couple years ago probably won't get them the same that it will now. But anyways, yeah, cremate me. I'm still kind of on the debate side. I'm on the cremate side right now. So if I happen to like go tomorrow, I guess I'm getting cremated. I don't know. I don't want to be. I always have this fear of like being like dead, like physically, but like your mind's still going, or like something processes. Like I know they have these machines and they deem your brain like brain dead, but like what if that subconscious is like still going, or like have you ever had like sleep paralysis where like you're asleep and like you just can't get up, but you're just kind of like your mind's going, but you just literally can't get up?
No, I don't dream at night. It's weird.
Okay. So
sorry.
But like, so I've experienced that before and you like kind of feel stuck. So I'm just like, I would hate to be like in a sleep paralysis and then like, or like be dead, but like my mind's still going. So like I'm still processing shit like in my mind, but I'm just a body. I don't know. That's like one of my fears. I'll be cremated and my ashes will be placed in bullets and have shot the shot.
You know what I'm gonna do? I want to take one of those
I don't
bullets.
want to fire ones.
I'm gonna take one of those bullets, shoot somebody, and then when they find the DNA in the bullet, it'll be Frank's. They'll never figure out who did it.
Well, now they'll know. See, now we're gonna have to dump this episode. So you just gave out your whole thing. But yeah, so that's my little kind of like sicko thing with like death. I think probably like out of my siblings, I'll be the first one dead though. But hopefully it's not until later. But I do clock myself at around like between 65 and 70. So I think about how many days I am that sick. I think I have about maybe 30 more years on this planet, hopefully. But things fucking happen all the time. I've been trying to make sure I tell everybody I love them too, because that shit fucking sucks. You never know what might happen. But let's see here. This episode is also brought to you by who we're gonna go for a sponsor. Oh, Me and the Bees, Michaela and the Bees. We've been playing her video. We're not gonna play it today. It's a pretty long video. I wish I gotta find like reach out to her, see if we can get like an actual promo video. But Michaela and the Bee, Me and the Bee, some of the best lemonade in the game, all natural, made from honey. And she has some honey products there. Check out Michaela and her lemonade. I say all the time, her ginger lemonade is phenomenal. You can order that, get it wholesale. Definitely go to your stores. Find a store locator. If there's not a set of Me and the Bees lemonade in your store, you can definitely request some, or there's a wholesale slip there if you would like to support and maybe even sell some if you have a store. I know I actually sent the website to my guy V at the corner store because I'm sick of going to West Hartford for my ginger lemonade, but V said he's gonna order me some. So hopefully, Michaela, you get some business from Quick and Easy. But yeah, so meandthebees.com. Go check out Michaela, her website, and get you some lemonade. Yeah. So thinking about like all this shit that's going on, like politics and shit like that. I have a conspiracy theory, especially with like the economy, what's going on, and then like big cryptocurrency boom. I've been doing my research into like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also let me like cover my ass and our ass. Anything that we discuss at this point is not like financial advice. This is just all entertainment purposes. Do not try to make any kind of financial exchanges or any like moves based off of anything that we discuss here. I'm no kind of like financial advisor or anything like that. I'm just somebody speaking things that I've, for educational purposes only and things that I've learned, right? But yeah, so just sharing what I've picked up in the game. So I have a conspiracy theory looking at like how cryptocurrency is going, right? Cryptocurrency, it's not legislated by like a certain like government, right? It's not governed by a certain government. It's not nationwide, it's international, right? And with everything going on now, the way China's moving and everything, I'm starting to see this kind of like independency move from like more independency away from, well, with China away from the United States. And it seems like they, especially like with things like WeChat and other apps that they've been using, so they've been ahead of like this digital wallet trend for a while, right? Digital currency. I feel like with Bitcoin, and all this like cryptocurrency, this is going to be a good trying time in the next 5 to 10 years for China to actually like lean off of their dependency on like the US currency and trading with the US, right? And then they're going to be able to become super more independent, along with like Russia. So this is something that's going to be super interesting to see, because if anybody knows anything about Bitcoin, there's only so many Bitcoin that's going to be like that's out there period ever made, right? And then you can there's Bitcoin mining, but like even with the mining, what I realized is that like the payout for like every coin that you might get or whatever, or like when you're mining, it halves itself every 4 years, right? So like there's only like the let me get this right. You only get like a certain payout for this 4 years, right? So the next 4 years, that payout's going to be like half. So like whatever you get like 6 point whatever. It started like with like every mine that you got or whatever, you could get like so many Bitcoin. Then now 4 years later, it's so many Bitcoin. After that, they divide that in half. So like by the time that like 140 years from now, it will only be like 0.00001 Bitcoin available to be mined, right? For that's out there. So you get to a certain point with that, right? And we don't have a substantial threshold, especially in the United States, of like Bitcoin ownership. If you look out like nationwide, super heavy in Russia, super heavy in China. So we might start seeing like an economic swing, especially what the dollar was lowered in value. The USD dollar was lowered in value, I think like a whole by a certain percentage in the past year. So it's getting to that kind of like momentum shift, I believe. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And I'm not no economic major, so like anybody that in the comments that have some input, definitely give me some value input if you have it, or something in the comments, or help me bounce around this conspiracy theory. But then also, a good thing that I was thinking about is just how we're so far behind with this, and now it's seeming like it's going to be weird, right? When this crypto craze kind of takes over, because I do believe eventually this is going to take over, right? Because even now myself, I use Apple Pay for just about everything. It's linked to my shit. I shouldn't be putting that out here, but anyways, it's linked to what I mean. I use Apple Pay for everything. I use my phone for sending money, whether it's through like Venmo or fucking Cash App, or Cash App is taking over. So like little by little, more and more, I realize that like, well, little by little, more and more, that's a contradiction, right? More and more, I'm starting to realize that I'm carrying cash little by little. So I have less and less cash on me. You know what I'm saying? As the years go by, I can't remember where there was a time like where I consistently carried cash with me like overnight, probably for more than 2-3 days tops if I had cash. And usually like if I go get money out the ATM, I'm getting money because I have to go make a cash purchase somewhere. And ATMs are like 20. So like I'm usually, I'm getting a multiple of 20 just to round it up, right? So yeah, I really think that these guys are gonna get a foothold. And then also I'm looking at it how detrimental it is for us to be financially savvy into this, right? And have a good understanding, because if with the technology that China and Russia has, that also puts us at a big threat. And I don't think America, we've talked about this before, I don't think that we as America, we're ready for it, right? We're just starting to kind of see like a push for cybersecurity, but as far as like hacking and everything, like tech, like computer software and all, like coding and all that hacking shit, Russia and China has us beat. Like they have us fucking beat. So like it's very scary to think that like sooner or later, like all of our currency is going to be pretty much digital. Like the actual physical dollar will probably be extinct somewhere probably within the next 10-15 years, and we will not know, we could possibly no longer be like the most dominant secure, you know what I mean, secured fucking country. You know what I mean? We've said this before. Security wise, like modern warfare is no longer fucking boots on the ground. It's fucking done digitally. What are you doing on those fucking keyboards? What do you know what I mean? What are you doing on the web? What are your hack defenses? What are your, you know what I mean? What are your cyber defenses looking like? Cyber security is going to be the next biggest fucking, I mean, we're starting to see that uptrend now. I know now cybersecurity is one of the most sought after fields now. I see cybersecurity positions and colleges offering cybersecurity courses now and degrees and all that shit. So that's the next big wave. So everybody be on the lookout, educate yourselves. That's the biggest thing. Like we say all the time, like there's too many resources out here to educate yourselves and understand between the internet and friends and all that shit. Make sure you're getting like right information, right? I think about that now, even with the stock market, right? GameStop happened, or even a little bit before that, just 2020, everybody, you know, it seemed like just the stock market and that became like a big trend, right? And then, you know, GameStop happened and then everybody wanted to get into the market, you know, way to get money, right? But now a lot of people have invested blindly and not knowing what they're doing. And what have we seen this past week? A major correction. So where a lot of people saw red and didn't understand what red could possibly mean and understand that there's money to be made on both sides of the spectrum, a lot of people now have been seeing red in their accounts and realizing that this correction is happening and don't know what to fucking do. I don't know how many people, Joe. Well, I do know probably about, I'm not going to make it seem like it was a lot, but there's probably about 4 or 5 people that have hit me asking how could they how could they get out of their positions without like their crazy losses. Like some of these people like started just buying stocks and like not realizing that, hey, that money, just because you put $100 in there, like that money doesn't stay $100. It doesn't stay stagnant, like, right? It doesn't stay at 100. That shit moves up and down with certain values. So like, it's interesting to see that these people are getting into the stock game or even into the market without doing their research, right? So what was I saying? Oh, so I said that to say pretty much like, know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Use this time to start focusing, like to start getting into companies that may have been super expensive. Like, for example, right? Everybody was getting on the Tesla train. Tesla was trading almost $900 a share, right? Today, Tesla was trading like $668 a share. But there's a lot of people that got in at 800 and they took a big dip and not realizing, one, they weren't patient enough, two, not realizing whether they're going into a long-term or short-term play, a bunch of different variables, right? So let's be very cautious into what we're investing in. Make sure that we're making smart decisions. Make sure we're making what we like to call in the game your due diligence, doing your due diligence and actually researching things and understanding, like, just because one of your buddies says, hey, this is the time to buy the dip, this is the time to do, buy the market. Know what you're buying and know what you're getting into, know what company you're getting into and why. I remember, well, now I have to have, for myself, I have to have a whole thesis as to why I'm buying a company, or into why I'm buying a purchasing a certain stock or option. But those are the things that you learn, right? So with this market correction, if you know what you're doing, if you have the capital, and if you and when I say capital, the way I learned is money that if you literally just fell out your pocket today, you wouldn't miss it if it fell out your pocket and then you got home and you're like, oh, there's whatever. Like you would literally have to not miss it. And a lot of people have been investing with money they would definitely miss, and they're missing that fucking money now. Everybody says, well, people that have asked me, they say, hey, when's a good time to get into the market? When you can lose money and not have an emotional attachment to money, then that's when you can get into the market and you know what you're doing. So be careful out there, everybody. Don't go fucking crazy. I know the market's going to be red for the next couple days, probably. It's definitely been red the past 2 days. I've made some great plays. But yeah, that took a lot of research. I definitely wouldn't have been able to know what I knew now if I would have did this even the first time that I, started learning all this shit. So just a little bit of time, and you can literally learn the basics enough to keep you afloat in this ocean of sharks and big whales. So yeah, that's my little financial moment.
That's deep.
Oh,
you know a lot about that stuff.
I know a little bit. I know a lot about a little. There we go. I know a lot about a little. I know a lot about. What I try and do is I literally just try and focus on one or two things that have to do with like the market or even just investing, and then try and like not necessarily master that, but dig in deep where I'm able to just I know what I'm doing and then move on to the next thing. A lot of people try and like master the market all at once, and it's fucking impossible. You can't. You have geniuses, you have fucking math and science experts that are the quant guys, you call them the quantitative guys that are building out algorithms and all this using computers, and they haven't been able to crack the market. So, it's literally a lot of it is just psychology into trading and shit like that. And just understanding just the basis, right? And not overthinking shit, right? And making smart plays, but won't keep boring everybody with that. If you guys have any questions, I would love to refer you guys to a lot of different references or things that I use. All the things and media outlets and free material. There we go, free material that I use and I've learned and taught myself on. But other than that, I was gonna get into another. Oh, we can talk about it since we are talking about money. You know what? No, I lied. I want to talk about this next week because I want to build my thesis on this a little bit better.
Right.
And there's a story that's kind of funny. And honestly, like, just this week has kind of like drained me. So like, I think, I'd rather deal with that one. We'll deal with that later. But this, another sponsor. This episode has also been sponsored to you by Diamond Souls. Diamond Souls, where your custom shirts are made easy. From tees to sweatshirts, water bottles, and vinyl, Diamond Souls is your go-to customization shop. Owners Dante and Jordan will bring your vision to reality, providing nothing but quality and efficiency. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at _Diamond Souls and let us create something special for you. I love Diamond Souls. Once I'm able to get like an artist, I'm going to be using Diamond Souls for actual like merch. So be lookout for them. They have a great collection. They released a beautiful Black History Month line for the tee. So at _Diamond Souls, check out Jordan and Dante. And Jordan is opening up her Jordy Sweets. So her all her like bakery and delicatessen, whatever that word is, delicatessen or whatever.
Delicatessen, yeah.
There we go. Yeah, big words for
Fancy.
you.
I like
there
it.
we go. But yeah, kind of real quick questions. Kind of like what did I call? Not brain teasers, but icebreakers. Late day icebreakers. Traits that you carry over from your parents. I was thinking about this earlier, real quick. I feel like I'm definitely there's a lot of heavy traits that I'm carrying over from my parents. So like when I'm speaking to my son or like even like relationship shit that like I realize that like, or I remember my dad doing like to my mom or some shit that I definitely have done. I was going to ask you, are there any traits that, either like parental or relationship things that you realize that you've picked up from your parents and have carried over?
Yes, I overreact and I get loud.
Okay. Same. I get that from my mom. I get that
When
from
I,
my
d-
mom.
I did I tell you the story of these figures right here?
Yes.
Did I tell
yes.
you, I told you how Elliot, and I had never told Elliot not to do it. It was just after Christmas.
Yep.
Kid thought he was doing me a solid. Hey, I took your dudes out of the package.
Yeah.
Now, I remember doing that to my dad. My dad had some motorcycles in
Yep.
packages that he was kept in the box, and I cracked them
I
open.
like my dad. Oh, so you pulled a Donnie.
And then he cracked me open. Oh yeah, my dad put the whoop ass on me. And I mean, in the moment when my son showed this shit to me, I mean, rage. I was going to be
Rage.
like, "What the?" And then I just looked at his sweet little face, and he was like, "Hey, I got your guy for you." And I thought, that's
You're
my
not
fault. I
supposed to
didn't
be
tell him that shit. But I do. Generally speaking, if one of my kids in the backyard, say they're in the pool, maybe somebody slips and falls on the patio,
Mhm.
right, and they scrape a knee, my initial reaction would be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" That's my dad, and it's like,
gotcha.
this is the dumbest reaction in the world,
Right.
and I do exactly what my dad did, but now, I mean, over the last few years, I've learned to like,
But yeah.
are you all right?
Yep.
Are you don't run around on the cement. You're gonna slip and fall. But yeah, I mean, I want to blow up immediately because that's what my dad did. And as
See,
much as I hated that,
you gotta, and that's what it was. So like me and shoes, it was so crazy. So like Donnie, I don't know how he does it, but like I would literally like help him clean his room and put all his shoes away one day, and then like the next day, like his shoes are just everywhere. So like I found myself not cussing him out, but I was like, Donnie, if you don't get that fucking shoe out of here. And I felt bad because I cussed at him, even though he's not a stranger to the F word, just because I'm me and he's gonna hear it. But he knows the difference. But anyways, I was like, damn, I got that from my dad, because my dad used to fucking cuss me out about my shoes, like leaving my shoes anywhere and everywhere. And then also getting frustrated with video games. So like I remember like my dad just trying to do anything with me, like even when especially when we were working on the bike, right? We would be working on the bike and like I wouldn't fully understand how to do something or whatever, and he would get just like the frustration, and I'd be like, fuck. So now like we were playing video games today, and like I was doing fuck this. I was doing all the work. We were playing Kirby, whatever. So it's like you get like 4 Kirby little things, and you guys got to defeat a monster every level, right? And we're teamed up multiplayer, and like he's like, oh, there's this little treat over here. I got to get this jewel. I'm like, bro, we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to defeat this monster, and you're not helping at all. So I got sick of carrying the team. I got sick of doing all that hard work, and I had to remind myself. I said, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though this is fun, he's seeming like a friend right now. He's still the son. He's still, you know what I'm saying? We gotta educate him. We gotta slow down. But I'm glad though, because it literally like I took maybe like 10 minutes with him and like just explained it. We was kicking ass. We like killed like 8 levels in like half the time after
That's
that.
awesome.
So I said, all right, I can do that. So it kind of made me think about that. And then outside of that, right? Have you ever heard of the 18-6 rule?
No, I tried to look this up before, and I'm not sure what you're talking about.
So this might just be a black thing, and maybe just a black culture thing here.
I knew I should have checked Black Twitter. Fuck, man, that's my bad.
So 18-6 rule: when you turn 18, you got 6 months to get out.
Oh shit!
18-6
All right,
rule.
got it.
But I thought about that rule, and I said, damn, that rule. It really fucking affects the black community, or even like the black and brown communities, right? And I thought about this real quick because I was looking and I was joking with some of my friends on Facebook about how like when they're like, when my kid gets out, he got to get the fuck out, and then everybody was like 18-6, and I was like, damn, that was like a rule that we all laughed at, like we knew was something true, but like when we break it down, I don't fuck with the 18-6 rule. Like now that I have kids, like, and that was more of a hindrance than anything, right? And like even in the comments, like some of the guys were like, nah, fuck that. I got thrown out when I was 18, and I came out good. And then we're all like, but yo, you know how many fucking bumps and bruises we had to get?
Yeah.
And fucking like lessons we did not have to like. I mean, I'm glad we learned them, but I'm sure could have been learned a different way. So like if we can like give our sons like our kids those answers, like why not? And that's probably one of the things that hinders us at some points too as well.
Kaylee, who's 17 and turns 18 in May, said to Jess and I at dinner tonight, I'm sure you guys are going to want me to move out in a few months. And we were like, nah, dude, you can stay here till you're like 30, whatever. Where are you going?
Yeah.
You'll be fine. No, there's no, but she really thought that. Well, so funny story, right? Where does Kaylee go to school? She goes to school in Hartford at a magnet school, and her school is predominantly black and brown kids.
Yeah.
And so that's a mindset. They're seniors.
See?
Wow, dude, look at this.
You
just taught me some shit. So, right. I mean, that's got to be the mindset she's probably hearing is, yo, you got 6 months after you turn 18 to getting.
You got to think about that. A lot of those kids, we're planning for so like when you think about those milestones at 16 and 8, like at 16, I remember like shit, I got 2 years before I'm literally on my own, not realizing that literally in a white household, it's not that far off. You know what I'm saying? Or even like or in a middle class white suburban area. Like it's not like, hey, you got to get out. Like I remember even when I worked my last job and the owner's son worked with us, and me and him aren't too many years separated. He was like, yeah, I still live at home. And I was like, that's fucking genius. Like that, and you know what I mean? But you hear in so many other cultures that literally that's the thing. Like you're not leaving until you're literally set and you're able to take care of yourself. So hopefully that's another thing that we can start looking at ourselves and kind of realizing that like we're sending our children out just because of a legal age. Nobody should be ready to be out at the age of 18 by themselves.
My brother moved out of my parents' house when he was 27, having paid no rent or anything. And he had $40,000 to put down on a house, cash.
See?
So if you're going to live with mom and dad,
do it smart.
Especially if you're not paying rent, save your money. Do what my brother did. My brother had a shitty car. He dressed like a hobo. And met a girl, and he's like, I got to get a place now. And I was like, well, do you have any money? And he was like, I think he had like $80,000. And I was like, oh, you don't need that much. I meant like, do you have like 5K? You don't need the whole thing in cash. But yeah, dude, I mean, this kid like thought, some point I'm gonna have to move out. I'll buy a house. I guess I should save the cash for it.
Yeah.
Like I think in my brother's mind, he was gonna be 40 and just have 180K. Like, just buy a ranch. Because bro, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. And even then, so that's crazy, right?
Also, Kaylee gave me the thumbs up about the 18-6 rule. I mean, again, that's what she's hearing at school is you got 6 months to get moving.
Get going. And I think even sometimes that 6 month rule is kind of lenient, because I remember hearing some houses, some of my friends, when you get 18, you got to go. You can get your own apartment. You can get like that shit's that's probably one of the most trash things in the Black community that I've heard. Or like I can't even get behind. We set ourselves up for failure by doing that. And yeah, even then, like, why set our I don't know. And I understand like there's probably even being 18 before, like I remember me being like, oh, I want my freedom and shit like that. But that was because I felt like I was gonna have no place, at the house. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't, but yeah, I hate that. And hopefully we get rid of that as a community. Don't hold your children to that unless they bad. If they bad as shit, then yeah. Like if your child's out there doing crazy shit and like not obeying the rules, then yeah, I can understand that. But if the child's obeying the rules and just living their life and enjoying themselves, let them stay in the house. Let them get themselves situated. Oh man, because you never know. You never know what will happen and unfortunately, you might not have your fucking child to fucking. There's parents right now wishing that they had their child to fucking still live with them. So be grateful, and I know I will be. I'm telling you right now, just kind of, if I ever have a daughter, it's over. Like I will like. She's gonna be like, I see like why like guys that have like daughters, like why they're like daughters. Like I see now like that mother son and that daughter, that father daughter, like bond. I want a daughter so bad. But I'm just not.
Yeah, it is. It's having 3 daughters and 1
See,
boy.
yeah,
I can tell you, there's definitely something different about that relationship. And I mean, my 8-year-old too, the way she looks at me,
See,
like all doughy eyed or whatever. It's that's the most like adorable thing you'll ever see in your life.
And I think that's what I'm worried about. Like I'm like, yo, when I get old, he's gonna be taking care of her. You know what I'm saying? Like when everybody says your daughter takes care of the father and the son takes care of the mother. So I need somebody to take care of me. And you know what I'm saying? If I have a daughter, like, I don't know, he might have to get out when he's like 21. Because I feel like me and him would be like bumping heads, but that might be for like 6 months and then he can come back. But like, I feel like, I don't know. I pray like if like the cycle continues, like the relationship that like my sisters had with my dad was so beautiful. I'm like, hopefully that shit just kind of like stays in cycle, even like with my brother and his daughters. So I'm like, yeah, kind of want that. But anyways, final words. Honestly, I was gonna do a whole spiel, but make sure you guys are expressing to those that you care about that you love them. Love is, I guess, one of those feelings that is, definitely a lot of people take for granted. And, just if you don't do anything this week, just take the time out. Even the ones that you feel like you haven't expressed that well to, expressed that love to in such a long time, and you feel like it's just always genuine. Make sure you guys tell each other you love them, love each other, especially if you do. If you have that kind of care for somebody, because you never know when their fucking time might come or your time might come. So yeah,
I saw a meme. I think it was maybe earlier in the week or towards the end of last week. And it was a picture of a black woman yelling at her young son.
Mm-hmm.
Be a man, don't cry. And then it fast forwards to them when he's an adult. And she's like, what's wrong with you? How come you can't cry and deal with your emotions? I mean, you do what you're taught and you live how, what you learned. That's how it goes, And I think another big point to tonight, and I think Jared nailed it on the head, and we talk about this a lot on Throwing Jabs, Saturday mornings, 10 o'clock on the Clevercrest Media Network, combat sports show. We talk a lot about the mental aspect of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously a lot of lunatics in this sports right now. Deontay Wilder and John Jones among them. But the idea that, being a man and crying is okay.
Super okay.
All right to teach your boy to cry. There's no reason why you shouldn't. Crying's not being a pussy. And on Throwing Jabs, we often talk about the fact that, the 3 of us could probably kick most people's asses. We cry a lot on that show. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think what Jared was alluding to earlier was, that is a tough guy thing. It takes a fucking man to cry. And when you call him a pussy or a little faggot, he's going to punch you in your fucking face, So
Facts.
Watch it.
Facts. I don't have nothing wrong with crying. I love crying. It feels good. I just don't feel like crying in front of y'all. I'm ugly when I cry, and then
my wife gets so pissed because she's like, "You never cry at like life shit or like family shit." She's like, "But you're watching a video of Khabib Nurmagomedov retiring, and you're like in fucking tears." And I hated that guy like a year ago. He was a villain. Now I'm like, he retired. I was like, "Oh my god, his dad died in July." Look, just left his clip.
See,
Yeah.
I like, to me, like, my crying moments, they come so fucking sporadically. Like, I'll be sitting there and I'll start thinking about something and then it's over. And I'm just like, oh, there we go. And then here's this big old dude. Matter of fact, it was like last week. I was thinking about my dad too hard. And literally, it was like 2 minutes before. And I don't know what it was. I think, like, I don't know. I was going into work and I had to go into work teary-eyed. Like, when I say teary, like, I literally had just finished wiping my tears and just looking like crazy. So, nothing wrong with crying. I'm just not crying in front of y'all fuckers. Especially not on I piss you off shortly. Y'all got me.
So, you know what? I blame Carlos 100% for this, Frank.
Good show, guys. See you Friday. You definitely will see me Friday. And I blame Carlos for making me spend a whole hour just to go catch up and see what the fuck he was talking about. Carlos, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, I'm coming for your dumb ass, your dusty ass. We got beef now, Carlos. We got beef. Next time, if you're gonna talk shit, tag me.
He was hoping, he did say he hoped that you got the message, but he didn't say it like in a threatening way.
In a threatening Cuban way.
No, it wasn't. It was because, well, he also, I mean, he looks like a suburban dad, right? I mean, Carlos is not a very tough looking guy.
No.
And he's got a very calm demeanor about him. But
I've realized how to crack Carlos, and I'm not.
I think he really took exception to the idea that you said Frank was the smart one, because that's never been the answer to any question. Oh, Frank's the smart one.
Frank is a smart one. But
it hurt his feet. That was a shot that I think he struggled with.
We will watch on Wednesday, not in a threatening way. See, yeah. I say he's a smart one, and then he replaces threaded needles with threatening, or he replaces threatening with threaded needles. Damn it. See, I can't even talk. Oh yes, I'm the smart one. Who's the smart one now? Anyways, man, it's been a pleasure. I'm sorry. I haven't given y'all. We just broke 2 hours. I haven't given y'all a good 3-hour episode. It's next week. I promise you. This week was not the episode for that. But yeah. Oh, last question, Joe. I saw this. Would you date your high school crush? Like, if you not being married or anything like that, take away all that shit. Right now, if you saw your high school crush, have you seen her lately?
Dude, this could be a whole episode. This could be a whole episode because I mean, literally, almost everybody I've ever dated,
yeah,
like in a serious capacity, I am friends with on Facebook.
Okay,
and several of them are actually friends with my wife.
Nice,
right? One of them, my first real official girlfriend, like, you know,
okay.
She and my wife went out a year ago. They went to an event together. Literally, my wife called her up and was like, "Hey, I got an extra ticket. You want to go?" And they went and they had a blast. They're like super good friends. Yes. But my high school.
Okay.
I mean, it's been many years.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget the day I was scrolling through Facebook and she popped up in the people that you might know, and I immediately put the kibosh on that.
Ignore her.
I blocked her instantly, and you know, long story there, but yeah, no is the answer. Quite frankly, just no.
Same. My my high school crush was my ex-wife. So no.
So yeah, motherfucking no.
Fuck no.
It's funny because when I broke up with that girl like 25 years ago, she was such a bitch too, but I like that about her. She said to me,
"You're a crazy bitch."
We were breaking up and she goes, "Can we still be friends?" And I said this, Rob.
I.e., can we still fuck?
No, we can't be friends. I said, I really don't like you as a person.
Hey, you got to be honest.
I think it's best if we're going to part ways. Let's end it on this positive note. This is we had a great conversation. Everything that needed to be said was said. There would never, if I got divorced in 3 years and she was a single gal, I would go gay first.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just joking. I wouldn't do that, but no. I mean, just absolutely not. I don't like to retread.
See, yeah, once it's done, it's done. It's well, you know what? Yeah, we'll save this for another episode. We'll save this for
This could
we'll
be
save
a
this. We'll save this for
whole
an episode. We'll save this for an episode. But until then, visit clovercrestmedia.com/ I'll pitch you off shortly. I'm actually going to be redoing the merch, kind of. So I'm not even going to direct you to I'llPitchYouOffShortly.com. But if you want to, before I take down all the merch and change some things, go to I'llPitchYouOffShortly.com. Use PissedOff15 at checkout for 15% at the end of your order. Check us out. Cash app us at $. I'll pitch you off shortly. Also, next week, if you guys want to go ahead and start promoting now, I have made an official buy me a coffee account. So for anybody that wants to support and actually buy me Joe a coffee and show us support, definitely buymeacoffee.com /IPYOS. But that'd be all for next week. Check that out. Check us out every Monday night, 9 p.m. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram at I'll Pitch You Off Shortly. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all that good jazz. Until next week, I'm Rob Benjamin. That's Joe Aguirre. This is I'll Pitch You Off Shortly. Good night.
One day. I'm going to get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Pitch You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll pitch you off shortly. Hey,